Good evening. This is All India Radio. I'm Sunil Verma and with me is Renuka with the evening news. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi embarks on three-nation visit to Germany, Denmark and France from tomorrow. Says European partners are important companions in India's quest for peace, prosperity. PM to speak virtually at unveiling of Sardar Patel's statue in Canada's Markham. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu calls for taking higher education into the rural areas to make it more inclusive and equitable. Geopolitical situation changing fast. Utmost priority is to ensure high standards of operational preparedness, says Army Chief General Manoj Pandey. The historic India-UAE Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement to provide enhanced market access and reduced tariffs comes into force today. The gross GST revenue collection hits record 1.68 lakh crore rupees in April 2022. India's pharma exports grew by 103% since 2013-14. Centre asks all states and UTs to disseminate guideline on heat-related illnesses for effective management of heat wave cases. Chip Consortium ISMC plans to invest $3 billion to set up plant in Karnataka. And in IPL cricket, Lucknow Super Giants beat Delhi Capitals by 6 runs at Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai, and match between Sunrisers Hyderabad and Chennai Super Kings at the Maharashtra Cricket Association Stadium in Pune is underway. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will pay an official visit to 3 European countries, Germany, Denmark and France, beginning tomorrow till the 4th of May. In his first foreign visit this year, the Prime Minister would be visiting the 3 countries for bilateral as well as multilateral engagements. In a departure statement today, the Prime Minister said his visit to Europe comes at a time when the region faces many challenges and choices. He said through his engagements, he intends to strengthen the spirit of cooperation with European partners. The Prime Minister said European partners are important companions in India's quest for peace and prosperity. On his Germany visit, Mr. Modi said his visit to Berlin will be an opportunity to hold detailed bilateral discussions with Chancellor Olaf Scholz, whom he met at G20 last year in Mr. Scholz's previous capacity as Vice Chancellor and Finance Minister. The Prime Minister said he looks forward to exchanging views with Chancellor Scholz on strategic, regional and global developments. From Berlin, the Prime Minister will travel to Copenhagen, where he will have a bilateral meeting with Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen, which will provide an opportunity to review the progress of Green Strategic Partnership with Denmark, as well as other aspects of bilateral relations. Mr. Modi will also participate in the India-Denmark Business Roundtable, as well as interact with the Indian community in Denmark. Apart from the bilateral engagements with Denmark, he will also take part in the second India-Nordic Summit, along with the Prime Ministers of Denmark, Iceland, Finland, Sweden and Norway. The summit will focus on subjects like post-pandemic economic recovery, climate change, innovation and technology, renewable energy and evolving global security scenario, and India-Nordic cooperation in the Arctic region. On the sidelines of the summit, he will also meet the leaders of the other 4 Nordic countries and review the progress in India's bilateral relations with them. During his return journey, he will stop over in Paris to meet French President Emmanuel Macron. Mr. Modi said his visit to France just 10 days after the election results will not only allow him to convey his personal greetings, but also reaffirm the close friendship between the 2 countries. He said this will also give the opportunity to set the tone of the next phase of the India-France strategic partnership. Foreign Secretary Vinay Mohan Kwatra gave details about the Prime Minister's visit to Germany, Denmark and France. Briefing in New Delhi, Mr. Kwatra said on the first leg of his visit to Berlin on 2nd of May, the Prime Minister will meet German Chancellor Olaf Scholz. He said the 2 leaders will co-chair the 6th edition of the India-Germany Intergovernmental Consultations. Mr. Kwatra said the biennial IGC is a unique dialogue format that also sees participation of several ministers from both sides.
This is a unique mechanism which brings together several ministers and officials from both sides to engage in bilateral discussion, culminating in a plenary session which is chaired by the two leaders to review, take stock and assess the cooperation between the two countries across a range of areas, as also to identify fresh areas of partnership.
Mr. Quatra said on the 3rd of May, Mr. Modi will travel to Copenhagen next on an official visit at the invitation of Prime Minister of Denmark, Mette Frederiksen. This will be Mr. Modi's first visit to Denmark, but his third summit-level interaction with the Danish PM, and the discussions will focus on bilateral issues as well as issues of global and regional interest.
The substance of the partnership with Denmark has many significant pillars. That includes a green strategic partnership, is a model of cooperation that focuses on renewable energy, sustainability and green growth. There is also a joint action plan for 5 years, essentially focusing on the specifics of this partnership, and besides the ongoing cooperation in the field of wind energy, water management, circular economy, shipping and the smart cities.
The Foreign Secretary said on the 4th of May, Mr. Modi will participate in the second India-Nordic Summit along with the Prime Ministers of Denmark, Iceland, Finland, Sweden and Norway.
India's partnership with Nordic countries is structured around green partnership, the entire space of digital and innovation economies, trade and investment linkages, sustainable development, and 5, the partnerships relating to the Arctic region. The Nordic Summit will provide an opportunity to take forward the agenda in these clusters forward. India is the only country apart from the United States with whom the Nordic countries have summit-level meetings.
On the last leg of the tour, the Prime Minister will briefly stop over in Paris and meet French President Emmanuel Macron. Mr. Quatra said that Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to France will provide an opportunity to carry forward the high-level engagement between the two countries post the French presidential elections.
France is an important partner of India in Europe and also holds currently the EU presidency. Both countries have continuously nurtured and delivered on the ambition of their strategic partnership, particularly in the areas like clean energy, environment, people-to-people ties, space, digital, manufacturing in high-end sectors, etc.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be taking part virtually in a program in Markham, Canada at 9 p.m. this evening, where a statue of Sardar Patel will be unveiled at the Sanatan Mandir Cultural Centre. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said that this is a great initiative by our diaspora to deepen cultural ties with India. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has called for taking higher education into the rural areas to make it more inclusive and equitable. He said education to rural youth is critical because education plays a key role in human development, nation building, and creating a prosperous and sustainable global future. Speaking at the centenary celebrations of the Delhi University, Mr. Naidu emphasized that universities must come out with innovative and out-of-box ideas to address the pressing problems of the society.
Army Chief General Manoj Pandey has said his foremost priority will be to ensure high standards of operational preparedness to face the current, contemporary and future challenges across the entire spectrum of conflict. He was talking to the media after receiving the Guard of Honor at South Dock Lawns in New Delhi this morning.
हमारी इंडियन आर्मी का एक गौरवशाली इतिहास रहा है जिसने देश की सुरक्षा और अखंडता को कायम रखने के कार्य में बखूबी काम किया है। उसी प्रकार स्थल सेना का नेशन बिल्डिंग में भी उतना ही अच्छा योगदान रहा है। मैं देशवासियों को आश्वासन देना चाहता हूं कि भारतीय सेना स्वतंत्रता, स्वाधीनता और समानता इन तीनों मूल्यों पर पूर्णतया प्रतिबद्ध है।
General Manoj Pandey said he will focus on ongoing reforms, restructuring and transformation to enhance the Army's operational and functional efficiency.
The situation on the line of actual control as on date, I would say, is normal. The unilateral and provocative actions by our adversary with an aim to alter the status quo by force, I feel have been adequately responded to. And over the last 2 years, we have carried out continuous threat assessment and likewise realigned and reoriented our forces. As far as the situation on the LAC is concerned, our troops are there in a very firm, resolute and a peaceful manner and ensuring that there is no change in the status quo. Also, our troops are holding important physical positions. But in all this, we are very clear that we will not permit any change in the status quo and any loss of territory.
The historic India-UAE Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, CEPA, came into force today. The agreement was signed between the two nations in February this year. Secretary, Department of Commerce, BVR Subramaniam, flagged off the first consignment of goods comprising jewelry products from India to UAE under CEPA at a function in New Delhi today. The consignment will now attract zero customs duty under this agreement and is expected to reach Dubai today. Gems and jewelry sector contributes a substantial portion of India's exports to the UAE. India will benefit from preferential market access provided by the UAE on over 97% of its tariff lines, which account for 99% of India's exports to the UAE in value terms. CEPA is expected to increase the total value of bilateral trade in goods to over $100 billion and trade in services to over $15 billion during the next 5 years.
The International Semiconductor Consortium, ISMC, will invest $3 billion in Karnataka to set up a chip-making plant. In rupees, it will be an investment of about 22,900 crore rupees. This will be India's first semiconductor fabrication unit that is expected to generate over 1,500 direct jobs and 10,000 indirect jobs. An MOU was signed today in Bengaluru in this regard with the state government. The ISMC has requested 150 acres of land in Kenchanahalli Industrial Area in Mysuru. The unit will be set up under the central government's Indian Semiconductor Mission. The ICMC is a joint venture company between Abu Dhabi-based Next Orbit Ventures and Israel's Tower Semiconductor. India's semiconductor market is forecast to grow to $63 billion by 2026 from $15 billion in 2020. The Gross Goods and Services Tax GST revenue collection has touched an all-time high of around 1.68 lakh crore rupees in April 2022. The total GST collection in April was 1,67,540 crore rupees. The GST collection in April this year is 25,000 crore rupees, more than the next highest collection of 1,42,095 crore rupees in March 2022. Of the total GST collection in April this year, Central Goods and Services Tax CGST collection is 33,159 crore rupees. State Goods and Services Tax SGST is 41,793 crore rupees.
Life Insurance Corporation initial public offering IPO will open tomorrow for anchor investors and from the 4th to the 9th of this month for the general public. LIC IPO will be listed on the share markets on the 17th of May. India's pharma exports witnessed a growth of 103% since 2013-14 from 90,415 crore rupees in 2013-14 to 1,83,422 crore rupees in 2021-22. The exports achieved in 2021-22 is the pharma sector's best export performance ever. It is a remarkable growth with exports growing by almost $10 billion in 8 years. Highlighting the achievement in a tweet, Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal said that under the active leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, India has been serving as the pharmacy of the world. Government today said India's edible oil position is comfortable despite ban on exports by Indonesia. Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution said the present stock of all edible oils in the country is approximately 21 lakh metric tons. Approximately 12 LMT is in transit arriving this month. The ministry said the country has sufficient edible oils to cover the lean period.
You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi embarks on three-nation visit to Germany, Denmark and France from tomorrow, says European partners are important companions in India's quest for peace, prosperity. PM to speak virtually at unveiling of Sardar Patel's statue in Canada's Markham. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu calls for taking higher education into the rural areas to make it more inclusive and equitable. Geopolitical situation changing fast, utmost priority is to ensure high standards of operational preparedness, says Army Chief General Manoj Pandey. The historic India-UAE Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement to provide enhanced market access and reduce tariffs comes into force today. The gross GST revenue collection hits record 1.68 lakh crore rupees in April 2022. India's farm exports grow by 103% since 2013-14. Centre asks all states and UTs to disseminate guideline on heat-related illness for effective management of heat wave cases. CHIP Consortium ICMC planned to invest $3 billion to set up plant in Karnataka. And in IPL cricket, Lucknow Super Giants beat Delhi Capitals by 6 runs at Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai, and match between Sunrisers Hyderabad and Chennai Super Kings at the Maharashtra Cricket Association Stadium in Pune is underway. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
कंपटीशन की अगर आप कर रहे हैं तैयारी, तो उनके लिए ऑल इंडिया रेडियो पर हम लाए हैं अभ्यास, एक ऐसा कार्यक्रम जिसमें आप पूछेंगे सवाल व्हाट्सएप नंबर 9289094044 पर, या फिर ईमेल करेंगे abhyas.airnews@gmail.com पर, और हमारे विशेषज्ञ देंगे इसका जवाब। इस बार का विषय है पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन। सवाल भेजने की अंतिम तारीख है 4 मई। आपका अभ्यास हमारा प्रयास।
अपने बिजनेस को बढ़ाने के लिए लीजिए आकाशवाणी का सहयोग और दीजिए उसे बुलंदियों के पंख।
आपका बिजनेस लोकल है या राष्ट्रीय, आकाशवाणी देती है उपभोक्ताओं तक पहुंचने का हर विकल्प।
और अब तो आप घर, दफ्तर या दुकान पर बैठे बैठे कर सकते हैं आकाशवाणी के किसी भी केंद्र के लिए विज्ञापनों की बुकिंग।
आकाशवाणी के विभिन्न चैनलों पर विज्ञापन देना सुलभ और सस्ता।
बुकिंग है तो संपर्क करें 8700014242 पर।
8700014242।
The Centre has asked all states and union territories to disseminate a guideline document on heat-related illnesses to all districts for effective management of cases of heat wave. In a letter to Chief Secretaries of States and UTs, Union Health Secretary Rajesh Bhushan said seasonal and monthly outlook from Indian Meteorological Department for March to May this year predicts above normal maximum temperatures over many areas of the country and much higher temperatures in central, western and northern regions. Temperatures have already touched 46 degrees Celsius at some places, and deviation up to 6 degrees Celsius from expected normal temperatures have also been reported. The Health Secretary asked states and UTs to continue efforts on sensitization and capacity building of medical officers, health staff, grassroots level workers on heat illness, its early recognition and management. Power Minister R.K. Singh has expressed displeasure at Delhi government misleading public with incorrect information of power situation in Delhi. In reply to Delhi Power Minister's letter expressing concerns about coal stock position of some NTPC stations supplying power to Delhi, Mr. Singh said the figure in Delhi Minister's letter was incorrect. As our nation celebrates the 75th year of independence, a series of events is being organized by the government as a part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. To commemorate the occasion as a Janutsav, All India Radio News brings its listeners a special quiz on India's freedom movement and its glorious history. The quiz is being conducted every Monday and Tuesday in morning news. The next question of the quiz will be shared with listeners tomorrow. And now, let's listen to our special program, Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a Nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
Vyaptam yena characharam tatpadan darshitam yena tasmai shri gurave namaha.
On the 1st of May 1897, Swami Vivekananda established Ramakrishna Mission at the monastery of Belur Math near Kolkata.
Sharanagata kinkara bhitamone, Sharanagata kinkara bhitamone, Gurudev daya kar dino jane.
Ramakrishna Mission is a spiritual organization which forms the core of the Vedanta movement. Apart from religious and spiritual teaching, the organization carries out extensive educational and philanthropic work in India. Self-perfection and service were his ideals, and the order continued to stress them. Its ideals are based on Karma Yoga.
Ramakrishna Mission has been engaged in serving humankind without the distinction of caste, creed, color, race, nationality, gender or any other distinction in the fields of education, health, relief and rehabilitation, etc. for more than a century. The twin organizations, Ramakrishna Math and Ramakrishna Mission, are international
Ghat, where Nandalal Banerjee tried to apprehend Prafulla. Prafulla Chaki was firm not to give in and shot himself twice in the head with his own revolver.
After his death, the police could not establish his identity with certainty. Therefore, his dead body was beheaded and the head was sent to Calcutta so that it could be identified by Khudiram, who had already been arrested by the police.
This barbaric, brutal treatment by the British police was resented by the revolutionaries. They took revenge for the killing of Prafulla Chaki. The sub-inspector Nandalal was later killed by two young revolutionaries, Sirish Pal and Ranen Ganguly. AIR News salutes the brave son of the soil, Prafulla Chaki.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow. FSSAI has launched Food Safety Connect app for food business operators and consumers. Download this app from Google Play Store and easily apply for FSSAI registration. Consumers can use this app to register food-related complaints.
Eid al-Fitr will be celebrated in India on the 3rd of this month. Central Moon Sighting Committee said as the moon was not sighted this evening, Eid will be celebrated day after tomorrow.
In IPL cricket, Lucknow Super Giants defeated Delhi Capitals by 6 runs at Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. Opting to bat first, Lucknow Super Giants posted 195 for 3 wickets. In reply, Delhi Capitals could score only 189 runs for the loss of 7 wickets in the stipulated 20 overs. In another match, Chennai Super Kings were 172 for no loss in 17 overs when reports last came in against Sunrisers Hyderabad at the Maharashtra Cricket Association Stadium in Pune. Earlier, Sunrisers Hyderabad won the toss and chose to bowl. And now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. The national capital Delhi will experience dust storm or thunderstorm. Mumbai will have partly cloudy sky. Chennai is likely to have partly cloudy sky as well. Kolkata is likely to have rain or thunder showers with strong gusty winds. Srinagar will have mainly clear sky. Minimum temperature will be 11 degrees Celsius and maximum will be 29. Jammu is expected to have mainly clear sky as well. Leh will have partly cloudy sky. The minimum temperature will be around 7 degrees Celsius and the maximum 19 degrees. Gilgit will have mainly clear sky. The temperature will hover between 14 and 36 degrees Celsius. Muzaffarabad will have mainly clear sky. The minimum temperature will be 21, the maximum 39 degrees. Visakhapatnam will have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Hyderabad will have rain or thunder showers that will occur towards evening or night. And Bengaluru will have partly cloudy sky. Thiruvananthapuram will have partly cloudy sky with the possibility of moderate rain or thunderstorm. The temperature will hover between 26 and 34 degrees. Guwahati will have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. The minimum temperature will be 22 degrees, maximum 30 degrees. Imphal is expected to have generally cloudy sky with light rain. Shillong will have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Aizawl is likely to have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Kohima will have generally cloudy sky with light rain. Temperature will hover between 14 and 26 degrees Celsius. Itanagar will have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Gangtok will experience thunderstorm with rain. And Agartala will have partly cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi embarks on 3-nation visit to Germany, Denmark and France from tomorrow. Says European partners are important companions in India's quest for peace, prosperity. PM to speak virtually at unveiling of Sardar Patel's statue in Canada's Markham. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu calls for taking higher education into the rural areas to make it more inclusive and equitable. Geopolitical situation changing fast. Utmost priority is to ensure higher standards of operational preparedness, says Army Chief General Manoj Pandey. The historic India-UAE Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement to provide enhanced market access and reduced tariffs comes into force today. The gross GST revenue collection hits record 1.68 lakh crore rupees in April 2022. India's pharma exports grow by 103% since 2013-14. Centre asks all states and UTs to disseminate guideline on heat-related illnesses for effective management of heat wave cases. Chip consortium ISMC plans to invest $3 billion to set a plant in Karnataka. And in IPL cricket, Lucknow Super Giants beat Delhi Capitals by 6 runs at Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai, and match between Sunrisers Hyderabad and Chennai Super Kings at the Maharashtra Cricket Association Stadium in Pune is underway. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.gov.in and News on AIR app. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.